Okay, well, first of all, I want to acknowledge that I'm a horrible artist, so please ignore that part. But here's a distance word problem. A boat traveled 200 miles each way, downstream and back. So this phrase right here tells you that there are two parts, and when there are two parts to a word problem, typically that will indicate that it's going to be a system of equations. So you're probably in Algebra 1 or Algebra 2 or maybe a college algebra class. That's typically what that means. Okay, the trip downstream. So when you're going downstream, you're going faster. So whatever your rate is, you also have the current helping you. And helping you means going faster means your rate plus the current rate, okay? And that time, so here's the rate, here's the time, equals the distance of 200 miles, right? The trip back, well, the trip back is upstream. So upstream, if you've got a rate times time equals distance, the rate is the rate against the current, so it slows you down. When something slows you down, you use the subtract sign. When something speeds up, you use the plus sign. So rate against the current, and then this time is 50 hours. So my guess a rowboat of some type, maybe a canoe or a kayak or something. And then we still know the total distance is 200. Well, there you've got your system. So we have rate plus the current. This is downstream. Took 10 hours for 200 miles. And then upstream was rate against the current, and that took 50 hours. So notice rate times time equals distance, and that's the distance equation, equals 200 miles. Well, some teachers might want you to do the distributive here, but that would be a little bit silly. In the top equation, you could just divide both sides by 10, and then you'd have rate plus current. 10 divide 10 cancels, 200 divide 10 leaves 20, right? In the lower equation, divide both sides by 50, and you have rate against the current. The 50 divide 50 cancels to 1, 200 divide 50 leaves 4. And now we have a system where if you're looking at the variables, if you add r plus r equals 2r, positive c plus negative c, cancels each other out, which is what we want. And that equals 20 plus 4 is 24. And then divide both sides by 2. So we know that the rower, the person rowing, rate is 12 miles per hour. All right, which means that, so if we take one of these original equations, well, we could even do it right here. The r plus c is equal to 20, so 12 plus c is equal to 20. Subtract 12 on both sides. The current's rate was 8 miles per hour. So if your teacher wants you to use solution set notation, there's the squiggly lines for the solution. And then remember, a system of equations is essentially, it gives you an XY value. So the rowers, or let's say the boat speed. So B is equal to 12, and the current speed was equal to 8. All right, that's it for this one.